A lot of you want to know, what am I doing with this plastic wrapped LVL beam that I didn't finish with drywall like the rest of the room? It's time to wrap our LVL beam with a faux beam. Welcome to the shed where we have been storing all of this pine that I used to form my foundation. Holy moly, there is a lot up there. First things first, there is no room in here to bring in any of those pieces of pine. I've made quite the mess for myself. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep some of these scrap pieces just in case I need them. We are clean enough to get started in here, and luckily while I was doing that, Cam got the wood out of the shed.
And if you're new here, welcome. My name's Biata, and I'm building my dream home and homestead from scratch with very little experience, learning all new trades along the way. So if you're into DIY, homesteading, and more, hit the subscribe button because I'm here for you on Sundays.
Time to do some trial and error. Because these are reclaimed boards from our foundation, they're not perfect. I mean, no lumber is perfect, but they were outside for a couple of months before they got brought back in. There's concrete stains on them, and there's even minor warping. So I want to see what it's like to build a mini beam first to see if we can make this work. As much as I want the smooth side and for it to be a beautiful, clean looking beam, I think we're gonna go with the rough side and sand it down. I don't know. This is why I'm doing some trial and error first. There were boards here. This has gotten a lot of sun exposure. This hasn't. How is that gonna look after it's sanded and stained? Versus this side is actually quite clean, but on a lot of the other boards, it's really quite filthy and looking concrete stained. So we're definitely forced into a rustic look with this beam, but that'll kind of be fun because it might actually end up looking like a beam at the end of the day. But that being said, how do you make a faux beam look like a beam? And it's absolutely not by doing something like this. You have to do a miter to make it look good. This isn't going well. Cam said it was gonna be really tricky. I don't know. I can't cut all the way to the end with my fingers will be in the way. So like the wood's not perfect, and then I'm not perfect on the table saw, and then therefore it's all kind of warped and yucky here, and I can't push it all the way through to the end. The wood pulls away from the fence, and then it's not gonna cut properly. Just like that. Frig. But for now, we have a little test piece. That's pretty good. I'm just gonna take some time, sand both sides of these to try to figure out what side we want to use before I try staining any spots. All of the tools I'm going to be running today are going to run on the Bluetti Elite 200. This is super compact power station that packs a punch. I'll show you the different outputs of the tools that I'm using and how the Bluetti Elite 200 handles it. That looks terrible. I wonder how it'll stain, but that is very rustic. I may have to go with this side, which yes, does have concrete staining. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. So now I'm gonna practice putting these together. I saw another creator do this with tape.
As I'm working away here, I'm reminded of the times before I had power on site, and now I'm so thankful to own battery banks. From April 22nd, Bluetti is doing their Dark to Green Ditch the Gas Generator campaign. When you submit proof of an old generator, you get a special coupon. Battery banks are awesome because there's no noise pollution and they are so simple to start up.
This is kind of exciting. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity to own Bluetti battery banks that I can bring around the property, especially if we go to do an off-grid build on this property or for going camping. I can run all of my tools off of the Elite 200, running a miter saw off of it, the table saw, the smaller tools like the sander and the jigsaw.
This unit is small, but it is mighty.
With 2,073.6 watt hours and has an output of 2,600 watts.
Before I show you more power tools, I'm going to blend the edges of these miters together. This pushes the fibers of the wood together, making it look less like a miter and more like a beam. And the glue in the miter helps it hold it in place.
Wow, you can genuinely barely tell anything is there. Before I sand them in wood fill, I think I'm gonna try to distress one and see how it looks.
You can distress with planers, with wire brushes, with chains. There's endless options, and the Bluetti has been running these tools all day with ease, and it's still running on the charge from this weekend when we had a 10-hour power outage where we ran our mini fridge, our internet, and our devices. It has turbo boost charging so that your battery can get back up to 80% in just 1 hour. The lifespan of this battery is 17 years. You get a 5-year warranty, and it's an advanced LiFePO4 battery that can be charged up to 6,000 times. You can run 7 devices, 4 of which are 20 amp plugs, which is perfect for hot plates when you're camping, for a toaster or a kettle. And it has 2 USB-Cs and 2 USB-As. From April 22nd, Bluetti is offering rebates to users who ditch the gas generator, their Earth Day Clean Energy Buyback Program. Check that out in the Elite 200 V2, linked in my description below. And thanks so much to Bluetti for sponsoring me this week.
I don't know what I'm gonna like better. It's kind of fun distressing it though. A little dangerous. I almost like the distress look better, which is not typically something that I love. I'm glad I tried it. I'm just gonna quickly fill any gaps around the miters that make it look like it's not an actual full beam, and all of the nail holes.
There we have it, 2 beautiful beams.
And we're gonna test it out. Okay, it fits side to side nicely. And obviously it still needs to be stained because this pine does not look good with the ceiling color I chose. Got my samples, time to go get some stain. So I was able to bring in my cabinet sample and take a look at the flooring sample that I have officially chose. Thank you for all of your input. Most people chose flooring option B, which was also my #1 choice. And they stained some of my sample pieces of wood. And this dark one here worked really well with some of those darker colors in the floor. Of course, the cabinet is not gonna be right beside the beam, but I think what we end up using for the beam, we'll end up using for our kitchen table or the chairs in the kitchen, which is gonna be near the cabinetry. And while I was out, I picked out this wire cup brush and see if I could give it a little bit more texture in certain spots. So I'm gonna try a spot with and then without. So this guy looks navy blue. What? I'm so confused. Did I not get the right thing? Coffee. Why does it look navy blue? This is crazy. Okay, so this is a stain and seal. So I only have to put 1 coat on and then it's good, but I'm literally so confused as to why it's so navy blue. What? This is crazy. What the heck? I've never seen stain go on like this. I have to say, I really like this, first of all. It's got like some really fun grooves. This still looks good too, but I'm curious to see what it's gonna look like as it dries. This side is put on a bit thicker. I wiped this half off, and same with this. So I'm just gonna give it some time to dry. April 7th. Happy April. Like, what is this? Well, if you could guess it, last night during the storm, Cam and I decided not to cut all of the wood. But he has an appointment today, and so he should be done work early. Eventually, I'm gonna have to shovel. Like, I don't think my plow guy is definitely not coming. I'm just gonna wait and see though, because maybe he will show up. We're gonna have an indoor day today. Okay, the reveal of the stain. This is the side that I wiped down more. This is the side that I did not. And then this is the roughed up beam. I think it goes well with the cabinetry. And what do you personally think? Beat up or like regular, I would say? I like the distressed and beat up look. I think that's gonna look really sharp, 15 feet off the ground. Before I get back to building the beam, I'm gonna fix up the 2 seams that I consistently see on this ceiling. I know you told me not to. I'm not gonna listen. I'm sorry. I can see it. It's really hard to see on camera. Actually, you might be able to see it today on camera. Like, you can clearly see that that's a drywall seam. This side of the house is fine. Nothing is noticeable over here. It's truly just the sunlight on this half of the house. Like, you can even see where the paint is. It's so bright. I'm so glad I didn't shovel. All right, let's start with a quick sand to scuff everything up. The ceiling is a flat paint, so technically the mud should stick on no problem, but I'm still gonna just go ahead and give it a nice little rough up.
And if you're only here for the beam build, I am so sorry. I'm often just vlogging my whole week and the things that I do in that week, and I like being able to share that not everything in a build goes the way you want it to. Things get delayed, the weather changes, and then sometimes you have to go back and remud. And so most projects are not that straightforward. And I like being truthful in that process.
And this guy actually looks a lot better after sanding it. Still see it though, so I'm just gonna do another coat. There's the joint, and then it's just feathered out a lot nicer. Okay, I think that was worth it. It's looking good, and I can already tell the flats are coated better than they were before. I'm gonna go through my pile of reclaimed form boards and pick out the ones that I want to use. Okay, good timing, Cam's home.
Again, I don't do this. I avoid this like the plague.
If you'd prefer using a track saw.
If you want to do nice woodworking 45s, you should have a shop and a shop table saw and a big bed and a sled. Like, that's how you do this. This
Right.
is
This is not.
not the ideal way
Okay.
to do woodworking.
Your blade's nicer than mine, so.
Do, 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 do.
We did it.
You did it.
I did all the work.
Okay, it's a new day and it's gonna be random and busy. So I'm gonna start off with priming these sections on the ceiling before I get working on the beams. And I'm really happy I did this because you can definitely see where the marks were, where I could see that light kind of reflecting off of those ribs. And now it's all filled in. And so it should look really close to perfect. And if not, it's gonna look at least a lot better. And now the moment I am so excited for, I'm gonna build these beams. So I just wanna quickly lay them out and see which pieces look best together. And I'm taping them all together, trying my best. It's not all lining up perfectly, but oh well. I'm gonna try to flip it now and hope it stays together. Okay, I think we are good. Glue. This is LePage wood glue, quick dry in 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna put a decent amount of glue on. I'd rather clean up excess glue than for it to not bond nicely. definitely nervous because there's so much that's just not like, I don't know, it just seems really inconsistent. It's not perfect, and I didn't expect it to be, honestly, but I think while the glue is wet, I'm actually gonna blend the edges together, and then that way the glue gets in with the blend, if that makes sense, because it's definitely not dry yet. The glue is coming off quite nicely on this side, and I haven't sanded anything down yet, any of the concrete. I'm gonna do that after. I am finding this to be somewhat out of square, so I'm gonna just put these spacers in between, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to do this to all of them, but definitely this one. This one's a little wonky. Like, oh my gosh, you have to see this. So glad I'm taking the time to do this. I officially have 3 beautiful beams built. All right, it is a new day. We have to get these beams stained because Cam and I are gonna install them tomorrow. So sanding took an hour. That's insane. I'm so surprised, honestly. And I'm gonna start distressing, just like I did with my sample beams, using the jigsaw, using the Sawzall. I'm gonna even use one of these little chisels. It's probably gonna take me another hour or 2. And I'm finding this very much looks like a tool was taken to it. So I'm going across the other way with my chisel. And I find that just roughs it up a little bit more nicely, gives it a different direction. I'm gonna try one more thing that I think will be kind of fun. I feel like someone's told me about this and it may have been Craig. Gonna add a little bit of weight. Yep, it did something, creating little dents in it, which looks really cool. I do think Craig told me that they would take boards and drag them on like back roads with their vehicles. And I'm not gonna do that because I feel like that'll be a lot of setup, but this is kind of fun. This is so cool. Look at that. I mean, I was somewhat joking when I said this was gonna take me 2 hours, but it's pretty much been 2 hours. Oh man. This guy is definitely the worst beam, whereas most other spots are good, other than that. It is looking so good. Honestly, that looks like a beam and I haven't even sanded things down yet, which I do need to sand things down, but I have to let stuff dry. Before I go in and do some other work, I want to take this wood glue and go around the inside edges, kind of like caulking, and I don't know, make it nice and strong, fill any gaps that may have not been filled when everything was nailed together. I saw another creator do this, so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. While this dries, I'm gonna deal with this because we're installing the beam tomorrow, and truthfully, I think this is gonna be a late night of painting and staining. This looks so much better. The paint is still drying, so you can't really tell. But wow, I'm really thankful I went ahead and fixed it. You could tell, and it was really bothering me. All right, I don't have a lot of time left. I do need to go outside, sand those beams, get the filler knocked down. I'm sanding down all of these grooves as well that I've created because I do think that looks really good to go after and sand all the distressing down. It's not gonna be completely gone, but it's gonna be smoothed out a bit more. I'm so happy. Okay, one more step is the wire brush. Just scuff it up a little bit more. And now we're on to staining. Oh, it looks so rich and good. It looks like a beam, like a solid beam. It's official. They're all stained. Hopefully ready to go for tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it's not too wet. And I have one last thing to do. I have to do the final coat on this ceiling. Oh my gosh, so many coats. This is the 4th coat on our cathedral ceiling, but I think it was absolutely worth it. You cannot see the joints where I mudded, and that little bit of extra effort will make a huge difference in the long run. These beams turned out beautifully, and I cannot wait to show you how the install goes, but the install took a little bit longer than I wanted, so tune back in. Join me next week where we install the beam and seam it in place. For reclaimed form boards, I think this project went over so well. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, and I will see you next week.